I am Andrea Moran, and I am presenting on the topic of how to use PayPal for your small business. This is for ELFH 316 Institutional Strategies and Techniques under the facilitation of Dr. Terry Rowland at the University of Louisville. This particular video will cover how to create and send an invoice to your customer. Invoicing is a very integral part of small businesses, especially for PayPal. They make it very unique in that your customer can conveniently and securely take care of their payment for your product or service without disclosing any of their private financial information. This is also a good way for you to keep inventory of your products or your services, and you can also keep track of your invoices for later reasons such as your taxes or any other type of reporting that you may need them for. So, in a previous section, we covered how to create your PayPal account. As you can see now, I am currently logged into PayPal and I'm ready to create my invoice. To begin, I will go to the Tools menu and then go to Invoicing. Under Invoicing, and as you can see, for my small business of Barefoot Books, I have had some practice with sending and receiving invoices. To create a new invoice, we will start with Create New Invoice. Here, you will see displayed, first, your business information. When you set up your PayPal account, you have the opportunity to upload an image for your business, as well as your information here. This will display on your invoice as your contact information. If you do need to edit any of this information for any reason, you can click the link for Edit or Add Details. You also see here your invoice number, date, if you want to include a reference. Also, if you want to include a due date, all that information is here. So you just want to review that to make sure that it is correct. Going further, you have your bill to information. This is where you will enter the email address of your client, and that's how they will receive your invoice, is via email. You have the option to send this to multiple customers, and you can also copy yourself or another person if need be. Going further, this is the area where you will actually create your invoice. You have the opportunity to customize this in many ways. You can choose the quantity. For example, if you have so many products, you can also choose hours if you are selling a service. You can decide how many details to include on your invoice. And you can also control the currency of which this invoice will be paid. I've already started an invoice here for a customer who is purchasing the book titled My Daddy is a Pretzel. Another great feature of PayPal invoicing is that you can create an inventory of your products or your services to make it more convenient when you're creating an invoice. So therefore, this person is purchasing one book at the price of $8.99. You have the option to include tax, which I have pre-populated to the state of Kentucky for 6%. And PayPal will go ahead and add that for you in later. You also have the option of creating additional rows for multiple services or products. And once again, that is where your inventory will come in handy. So therefore, you will just have a drop-down menu of all of your services and products to choose from without having to manually type them in each time you create an invoice. Going down to the end, once you're finished entering all of your items, you will have your subtotal. You will have a discount if you choose to offer one. In this case, I may choose to offer a 10% discount to my customer, and PayPal has deducted that. You may also want to include shipping and handling prices, and here is your tax that you entered in earlier. So here is the total for the customer to pay, which is $8.58. You also have an option to allow partial payment. If I wanted to allow this customer to pay in equal installments, I can choose this option to do so. You can also include notes to your recipient, which in this case I have thanked the client for their purchase, and I'm giving them a time frame for shipping. I've also included for them to see us on Facebook, And also I've included a special for the holidays. You can also go to terms and conditions to enter in any type of return information, or if you have any other type of terms and conditions for your service or your product. If there are any additional files that you need to include to your customer, you can attach them here. With PayPal Business, before you send your invoice, you do have the option to preview it. This is what your invoice will look like when it goes to the customer. They will see that it is an invoice, that it is from your company and with your contact information. They will see the due date, and since I did not put one, the due date is the day that it is sent. And here's their amount due. Their email address shows as their bill to information. And here's the information that you entered on the product or service that you are sending them. Also included that we do not see here will be information on how they can pay this invoice securely. We will go back to our edit screen. And here you will see that you also have more options. You can save this invoice as a draft. If you need more information from your customer, for example, if they are thinking about purchasing other products or services, you can save this as a draft and come back to it later to add that additional information without retyping everything over again, and that will save you time. You can also save this invoice as a template, as I have done. You can see that this template is for the holidays. So this template will go out to all other customers for the holiday season, and it will keep my same terms and conditions and notes just for this particular holiday season. Lastly, you are able to now send your invoice if everything is complete and correct. A wonderful feature about PayPal Business is that you will be able to manage and track your invoices as you send them out. For example, PayPal will send you a notification when you send your invoice. Here is what the email will look like, that you have sent an invoice and how much it was for. It will let you know what the invoice number is, as well as a summary of the product or service that you invoiced for. Once the customer receives your invoice and pays it, you will get another notification that that invoice has now been paid and what the payment amount was. They will also be able to send you comments if need be. In summary of how to create and send a PayPal invoice. From your login screen, you will go to Summary and then to your Tools menu. From there, you will click on Invoicing. Make sure to review the information that is already pre-populated for you, such as your business information and invoice information, such as the due date and invoice number. If you do need to edit any of this information, there is a specific link to do so. You will also customize your invoice by inputting the different services and products that you have for your client to purchase. From there, you can include sales tax, shipping and handling, as well as any discounts that you choose to offer, and PayPal Invoice will total those for you. You will also have the option to make sure that your invoice can be paid in multiple payments if need be, and you can send it to multiple customers at once. You can also include different terms and conditions, as well as any notes that you would like to send to your customer. Before sending your invoice, you are able to preview it, so that way you can see what it will look like when it goes to your customer. You also have the option of saving your template as well if you have any sort of sales events going on, and you can use that template for multiple customers. You can also save your invoice as a draft in case you are missing any information and need to refer back to it later. That way it will save you time rather than manually inputting the same information over again. Lastly, once you send your invoice, you are able to manage it through the alerts that PayPal will send to your email. You will receive an alert once you send an invoice detailing the information that you sent. You will also receive alerts if a due date is coming up where an invoice has not been paid, and you will also receive an alert once the invoice has been paid by your customer. PayPal Invoice, as I said before, is a wonderful feature for you to use for your small business. If you need to keep track of invoices for reporting, such as for taxes or other purposes, it offers you a great way to keep all of your information in one place. It is also a great selling point to your customers that you do offer PayPal, as they do not need an account of their own, but they can use their own financial information, such as a bank account, credit card, debit card, or check, to go ahead and pay your invoice conveniently and securely, so that way they do not feel they have to release their financial information to you personally. If you have any other questions, please feel free to let me know. The next section under this topic will be how to use your card reader from PayPal on your mobile device to make payments that way as well. Thank you.